Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Jason and Dante settle the custody issue. Sasha met with Mac and Felicia at Bobby's for breakfast and for what Felicia dubbed their first family outing. Mac handed Sasha an envelope and said it was from her dad. Sasha thought Robert leaving was wonderful timing since it allowed her time to absorb having a father. Sasha opened Robert's letter and read it out loud. Dear Sasha, I am writing since my quick note wasn't nearly enough to explain why I had to go. I'm sure you heard your mother is in some trouble, again. I've gone off with her to resolve it. I'll be back in Port Charles as soon as I can. I'm looking forward to getting to know you as my daughter. I hope you can forgive me for leaving on such short notice and that you can forgive your mother for getting herself into yet another hard predicament. If you can count on her to accomplish anything, it's that. However imperfect we may be, we are your family. I look forward to seeing you. Take care, dear. Your father, Robert. Felicia and Mac informed Sasha they wanted to get to know her better as their niece. They talked about the holidays, and Sasha thought it would be better if she kept her distance for Cody's sake. Sasha didn't expect an overnight leap from almost involved to cousins. The more we live with it, the less awkward it will seem, Sasha added. Felicia agreed it wouldn't be simple but knew they will get there. She assured Sasha that in the meanwhile, she and Mac would never ask her to do anything she didn't want to do, but just to know she had an aunt and uncle, and they were there for anything. Sasha was astonished by Mac and Felicity's eagerness to accept her as family. I'm worried I won't be the niece that you expect, she explained. We consider Holly family. Do you honestly believe we can't roll with the surprises? Felicity asked. Sasha informed them she'd never had a family like that before. And now you do. And we're not going anywhere, Felicity said warmly. After breakfast, Sasha thanked Felicia and Mac. She went outside and placed the letter from Robert in her purse. She saw a pregnancy test and pulled it out, appearing anxious. In the Quartermaine kitchen, Dante got breakfast for Rocco, Scout, and Danny. Jason came in, looking unhappy. The kids left Jason and Dante in the kitchen to discuss. Jason told Dante about Sam's will, claiming she wanted Drew to be Danny's father. Jason thought he had a decent chance at fighting for custody but didn't want to take Danny away from his sister. Or Rocco, Jason said. Jason told Dante he'd heard what Danny said about the three youngsters enjoying one another and being family. Jason didn't want to separate them, but there was no way he would hand Danny over to Drew. I know what I want to do. But I feel the correct thing is to let Danny choose, Jason said. Dante thought it was an excellent idea to include Danny in the discourse. They were disturbed by a loud crash. Scout had dropped her painting supplies. Danny and Rocco pondered how they would clean it up but figured out a method to do it jointly. Dante and Jason gladly watched them be a team. Sam was right, those kids need each other, they need to stay together, Jason said. Dante questioned if that meant he was going to grant Drew custody. They went and promised the kids they would assist them clean up the mess. But first, we wanted to talk to you guys about where you're going to live, Dante announced. Dante added that he and Jason had been conversing and that they wanted the kids to be in each other's lives. Scout said she already informed Drew she didn't want to move to Washington. He said it was okay, that I could stay here and he could commute, Scout informed them. Dante said he would talk to Monica about him and Rocco staying at the Q home, and Jason said he would live there, too. Danny excitedly flung his arms around Jason and held him. Gio dropped over Trina's to check in on her before court. They both had to testify in Ava's trial. Gio reminded Trina they just needed to share the truth. Gio reminded Trina that he would let the jury decide and not debate beforehand. He added that Trina was Ava's friend and it would appear good to the jury that she stood by her. You're doing the right thing, not the popular thing, Gio continued. Michael invited Curtis to meet him at the gym for privacy. Whatever Drew told you, whatever he promised you, you will not be Aurora's CEO for much longer, Michael reminded him. Michael agreed that Drew and Curtis were buddies but warned that Drew would do everything to obtain what he wanted. "What is it that Drew wants?" Curtis inquired. "My wife, for one," Michael told him. He stated that Drew tried to purchase his silence by promising him Curtis' job. Michael told Curtis he needed help getting Drew out of Aurora for good, and in return, Curtis would receive the true title and the power that came with it. "That's assuming all of this is true," Curtis noted. Michael insisted Curtis would never be made CEO unless they worked together. Michael warned that Drew was only stringing Curtis along and wasn't a sincere buddy. "The fact that you're out for revenge is not inspiring much confidence," Curtis replied. Michael assured Curtis that Drew would turn his assets over to a blind trust once he was sworn in on January 3rd in D.C. and then send Curtis back to wellness. "Let's face it, you and I are in the same position. Are we really going to let Drew get away with this?" Michael asked. Curtis warned Michael that if Drew gave away the CEO post to someone else, then he and Michael would talk. Curtis noted that Michael was acting out of revenge, which wasn't how he did business. "All the more reason you should remain CEO," Michael added. He cautioned Curtis to be careful because when he saw Drew for who he really was, it might be too late. Curtis said he had his eyes open. Stella was surprised to see TJ at the hospital. She thought he would be at the trial, but he informed her that was the last place he thought he should be. TJ indicated that he was in the process of accepting his loss. Stella believed he made the right choice not to attend the trial until she realized that Molly was there alone. TJ revealed that he offered to go with Molly, but she turned him down. Stella was concerned that Molly merely suggested not to come since she knew TJ didn't want to. Stella advised TJ that no matter what was said, Molly would need TJ there. Rick met Ava outside of Bobby's, and she was apprehensive about how the trial would go. Rick told her that she would win. Ava admired his confidence but understood that the baby aspect would draw a lot of attention. "I will win this case because I need to. I'm not going to let my daughter down," Rick told Ava. "You think that by convincing a jury, you'll convince Molly as well?" Ava asked. "Once Molly hears the testimony and sees the evidence, she's going to come to the only possible conclusion, and that is no one was at fault," Rick stated. He added that Molly may not understand it, but by making sure Ava went free, he would be giving his daughter her life back. Christina entered the courtroom and saw Molly, who inquired whether she was ready for the trial. Christina informed her sister she wasn't nervous and understood precisely what she needed to accomplish. "I'm going to get justice for our daughter by putting Ava away for good," Christina informed her. Molly recommended that Christina should focus on the baby, not her wrath. Christina told Molly that she understood what she was doing. However, she was taken aback when Molly told her she was testifying for the defense. Molly explained that Rick might not even call her, but if he did, he would undoubtedly question about Christina's character. Christina questioned what type of person Molly would describe her as. Intense, or passionate. Loyal. And occasionally impulsive, Molly said. "So I'm hot-headed. That means I deserve to be pushed out a window?" Christina asked. Molly advised Christina that Rick might also ask her if she blames Christina or about earlier situations when Christina acted abnormally. "But whatever he asks, I have to give a true and honest account of the facts," Molly finished. "No, you don't, Molly," Christina assured her. "Are you asking me to lie on the stand?" Molly snapped. "No. I am saying you have to do whatever it takes to get Ava convicted," Christina told her. Christina said to finesse the truth and be careful about her wording. Molly believed if she was too unclear, Rick would lead her to say what he wanted her to. "You won't do that because you're just as smart as he is," Christina told her. She stated it was about gaining justice, and they had to fight her father head-on and win. Molly said that, for once, Christina was right. "I'll just go up there and give as good as I get, and if I say something damaging about you under oath, the prosecution can rebut it," Molly agreed. Christina told her they would do it together for their newborn child. "For our baby girl," Molly remarked with a smile. They chatted about who they were expected to appear to the trial. Molly said she needed to be there, but TJ didn't. "Are you sure about that?" Christina said. Molly looked around and saw TJ entering the courtroom. "Whatever happens here today, we're facing it together," TJ informed Molly. Rick and Ava arrived. Ava and Christina glared each other down. Rick and Molly went to the hall to discuss. She wasn't delighted about being subpoenaed to be a witness. TJ overheard and was unhappy that Rick urged Molly to testify on Ava's behalf. Rick stated it was his obligation to protect his client. "No, it's a lawyer's responsibility," TJ told him. "But it didn't have to be yours, Dad," Molly continued. Rick was astonished as TJ and Molly walked away. Drew responds, "You are the future, not Curtis." Curtis replies to Jordan, "This has to stay between us." "Is there a problem, Miss Robinson?" the prosecution asks Trina on the stand. In the courtroom, Christina tells Alexis and Sonny that is the only way we can for sure get Ava convicted. "By the time this trial is over, you will know this beyond a shadow of a doubt," Rick assures the jury. "Don't worry, I've taken care of everything," Clyde says a sleeping Lulu as he rubs her hair. General Hospital spoilers for the next 2 weeks, November 25th to December 6th, predict that Ava Jerome's trial will be filled with great drama. During the week of November 25th to 29th, Trina Robinson will testify and face some difficult questions as she attempts to keep Ava out of prison. Christina Corinthos Davis will eventually testify, and Rick Lansing will undoubtedly try to fluster her. Christina will face some difficult situations in which she may lose her cool and appear unpredictable. Rick will also put Molly Lansing Davis on the witness, pressuring her to testify about her sister's crazy conduct. Molly may get caught up if she isn't careful, so we'll see how she handles Rick at court. Dante Falconeri will also testify, as will others involved in Ava and Christina's suffering that day. There will be no shortage of those striving to ensure that Ava pays the consequences. However, Rick believes that putting Ava on the stand is the key to winning. With that and another trick Rick has planned, he'll be confident that Ava will walk out a free woman. Next, let's speak about Michael Corinthos and the daring action he's planning against Drew Quartermaine. But first, we must share the terrible news that Chad Duell, who plays Michael Corinthos on GH, is leaving the show. Michael intends to entirely remove Drew from Aurora, so he will continue to plan and hope to enlist the assistance of Curtis Ashford. While Curtis tells Jordan Ashford about Michael's offer, Lucky Spencer will make his own offer to Elizabeth Baldwin. Lucky will be determined to assist clear Liz's name after Sam McCall's digitalis overdose landed her in the focus of GH's probe. Lucky will eventually show Liz something vital on his phone, so might he perhaps obtain some hospital surveillance footage? If a camera caught a sight of Cyrus Renault walking in and out of Sam's room, it would undoubtedly get Lucky's attention. Speaking of Cyrus, he will continue to perplex Lulu Spencer, prompting her to take a major risk. It appears that Lulu's great escape is on its way, and there are indicators that Cody Bell may come to her aid, as he will help every stranger he encounters. Over with Sasha Gilmore Corbin, she'll open up to Maxie Jones, most likely about the pregnancy test and the possibility of having Michael's baby. Will Maxie wait for the findings with Sasha after taking the test? Later, Maxie and Damian Spinelli will experience a life-changing shock. Will Cody return Lulu to her former home, where Maxie now lives with Spinelli and the children? Back with Lucky, he will corner Cyrus and demand answers. That could be related to Lucky's prospective finding of security footage, or Lucky may have questions regarding Lulu's empty bed at Turning Woods. Lucky will undoubtedly probe Cyrus and lash out in the process. Lulu will also reunite with a familiar face. Could it be Dante Falconeri, Rocco Falconeri, or Laura Collins? Regardless, Lulu will eventually reconcile with everyone and face some shocking revelations about what she has missed. Harrison Chase and Brooklyn Quartermaine will have a passionate talk, most likely about their future plans to start a family. It doesn't appear to be happening as soon as Brooklyn and Chase had wanted, so will this be another story about infertility issues? We should also point you that there will be some sports-related preemptions on Thursday, November 28th and Friday, November 29th. Fortunately, the show will return with brand new episodes during the week of December 2nd to 6th. That's when Lulu will most likely interact with more familiar folks and learn about Sam's heartbreaking sacrifice. Lulu's heart will undoubtedly break for Dante and what he has lost. Of course, Lulu is going to be amazed with how much Rocco has grown. You can guarantee Lulu will want to know what happened to missing Charlotte Cassadine, and then she'll be devastated by Luke Spencer's death. Back to Christina. How will she respond if Rick gets Ava off the hook as planned? Christina craves justice, so if the verdict reveal does not go as planned, she may take matters into her own hands. According to General Hospital spoilers, the following 2 weeks will be filled with exciting scenes, so we'll keep you updated on all of the building drama and any stunning news that emerges. General Hospital spoilers hint that there is some big news to report following Chad Duell's recent Instagram post. Duell is departing General Hospital, thus he will no longer play Michael Corinthos. Suppose Heather lives in Sedona with Steven Weber and has a life-altering shock? One day Steven is at work when Esme could be able to locate Heather with some research. Maybe Esme has been hidden and healing from injuries, but once she is ready to say she has survived, she may ask Heather for help. Heather can be convinced by Esme to go back to her evil ways. Esme might plot a kidnapping on Ace in the future and exact retribution on some past rivals. Could Esme get Heather back on the dark side and into crime with her? In any event, the fact that fans never saw Esme's body creates future possibilities for a fresh partnership with her mother. According to General Hospital teases, Heather will return sooner or later, so we'll keep you posted on any Esme return news. Spoilers for General Hospital suggest Cody Bell will find an unexpected truth between November 25th and November 29th. Cody will, it turns out, dash to assist a stranger, suggesting an unexpected Lulu Spencer meeting en route. Before we get started, let's establish the scenario for Lulu's encounter with Cody. Before Cody can come to Lulu's rescue, some critical events must occur, so let us explain what is ahead. Cyrus Renault will continue to make frightening comments at Turning Woods, terrifying Lulu with his plans. Lulu is getting ready to pick some scrubs and a sweatshirt before leaving rapidly. That should lead to Lulu strolling around Port Charles for a time, taking everything in. It looks that there will be a memory-triggering moment outside Bobby's, even though it was still Kelly's when Lulu used to visit the restaurant. Lulu may continue going and try to reach her former residence. The trouble is that Lulu is manifestly in horrible form after a 4-year coma and a recent liver transplant. Whatever the case, Cody will soon be in his car when he senses something peculiar nearby. By then, Lulu may have overdone it and will require the intervention of a trusted rescuer. That takes us to the spoilers about Cody rushing to save a stranger. Cody technically met Lulu in her hospital bed at GH, but she was unconscious and on a ventilator at the time. We'd imagine Lulu will still be the stranger Cody assists because it all aligns with her upcoming Turning Woods escape. Cody may coax Lulu into his car and offer to drive her to the hospital, but she may instead give him her old address. Of course, Cody knows just where that is because Maxie Jones and Damian Spinelli now live in Lulu's former home with all of the children. General Hospital spoilers hint Cody may take Lulu there, so stay tuned for more homecoming predictions and updates on all the exciting events to come. Things are tight as Ava's trial begins, Jason and Dante move in with the kids, and Sasha believes she is pregnant. Friday, November 22nd, 2024, Sasha meets with Felicia and Mac, Christina convinces Molly they must fight together, and Gio and Trina debate the trial. In Thursday's General Hospital recap, Sunny volunteered to assist Jason try to keep Danny away from Drew, while Drew refused to let Scout remain with Alexis. Sasha has breakfast with Mac and Felicia. They wanted to know how she was dealing with the Cody and Robert situations. Mac hands her a note from her father. Robert was sorry he had to leave, but Holly required assistance. Sasha swears everything is okay, and she has his phone number. It's wonderful that she has time to adjust to having a father. They offer to leave her alone with the letter, but she encourages them to stay and read it to them. It says he will return as soon as possible and looks forward to getting to know her. He hopes that she will forgive him and her mother. Sasha chokes up little. They promise her that Robert will return if he says so. They want to get to know their niece. She tells how her mother would only visit on occasion with gifts. She grew up longing a family. They tell her she now has one. She is apprehensive that having Cody around will make the holidays more stressful. It may be best if she maintains her distance. She's convinced that things will become less awkward with time. Mac and Felicia will not push her, but will be present if she needs them. Sasha thanks them, but she is overwhelmed. She'd never had a family like this before. When Sasha leaves, she takes out a pregnancy kit from her purse. Outside, Ava encounters Rick. She wonders whether he actually believes she will be found not guilty. He reassures her that he will win the lawsuit. He needs to since he does not want to disappoint his daughter. Rick recognizes that Ava is not to blame, and convincing his daughter of this will be for the best. She will realize that no one is to blame and will be able to let go of her anger. It was an accident, and there is no one to blame. She fears if Molly will realize how he is defending her. He says she simply needs to get her life back. In the Quartermaine kitchen, Dante amazes the kids by cooking French toast. Jason walks in. The children move off to play Stratego, leaving the men to converse. Jason sits down and says that Samswell stipulates that Drew receive custody of both children. He believes he has a chance to win custody of Danny, but he does not want to alienate him from his sister or Rocco. Dante tells him he needs to do what he believes is right. Jason is unable to hand him up to Drew, but he believes that he must allow his baby to make his own decisions. He does not want his son to feel torn between himself and his brothers. Dante assures him that he's a good guy. He believes that incorporating his youngster in this decision is a beneficial thing. They hear a noise. Scout has spilled a lot of paint and the supplies she used to build seasonal decorations. Rocco and Danny join her and create a scheme to clean them up. Jason and Dante are impressed. Jason decides that the kids should stay together. They approach the children to discuss about where they wish to reside. Scout has already told Drew that she will be staying there while he commutes. Dante and Monica will contemplate living there together, and Jason will also live there. Danny hugged him. Trina is wearing headphones and dancing around her apartment when Gio walks in and startles her. He teases her a little and then asks whether she's all right. Yes, and no, she says. She tells him she is loving school after having to take a hiatus after Spencer died. They explain how grief may detach you from life. She feels more concentrated again. He calls her the Iron Songbird, and then the subject changes to the trial. They both need to testify. She thinks that her testimony will be manipulated to make Ava appear horrible. He reassures her that she and Ava are friends, and that she can aid her friend. Gio believes she is doing the right thing, not the popular thing. She believes he sounds like her father. He thinks he's talking like her. She puts her headphones back on, and they dance around. Jason was thought murdered as a result of the FBI mission and his desire to keep Carly out of jail, but Drew also went to prison for her following the SEC fiasco. However, Drew has just emerged as a respected congressman, so his career path would appear to be preferable to Jason's in court. Jason's bond with Sonny Corinthos may come back to haunt him when he appears in court. Nonetheless, Jason has rights as Danny's father, and Danny is legally old enough to have a say in all of this. The General Hospital spoilers for Friday, November 22nd show that Sasha Gilmore Corbin accepted Felicia Scorpio and Max Scorpio's breakfast invitation, so they all sat at Bobby's. Mac also brought them a note from Robert Scorpio, in which he vowed to return to get to know Sasha after assisting Holly Sutton with her troubles. Meanwhile, Mac and Felicia wanted Sasha to know that their door was always open, even though they knew things were complicated with Cody Bell and did not want to rush Sasha into doing anything until she was ready. Sasha seems grateful for everything and concluded the brunch on a cheerful tone. However, Sasha's attitude changed as she went outdoors and pulled a pregnancy test from her bag. Over with Rick Lansing, he promised Ava Jerome that he would win her case. Rick believed that Ava's release would let Molly Lansing Davis accept the horrible catastrophe and go on with her life. Trina Robinson was dancing around at home with headphones on, so Giovanni Gio Palmieri surprised her when he walked in. Gio was curious about Trina's well-being because they hadn't seen each other in a while. Trina told Gio about her coursework before discussing Ava's trial, at which they both had to testify. Although Trina was nervous, Gio recognized that Trina was Ava's friend and believed the jury should witness her support. At the Quartermaine mansion, Dante Falconeri presented the French toast he had prepared for Rocco Falconeri, Danny Morgan, and Scout Quartermaine. When Jason Morgan arrived, the children proceeded to play a game while Jason spoke with Dante about the legal guardianship problem. Jason couldn't simply hand Danny over to Drew Quartermaine. Instead, he wanted Danny to make his own decisions. Meanwhile, Scout attempted to carry too much at once, spilling game pieces, paint, and Thanksgiving craft supplies all over the foyer. Danny and Rocco comforted Scout before everyone worked together to clean up the damage. Jason and Dante noticed the wonderful moment, which made them realize how essential it was to maintain the family the kids had established intact. Scout planned to remain at the Quartermaine house because Drew would be commuting to Washington for work. Dante would stay with Rocco, and Jason would return to live with Danny, which delighted all of the children. At the boxing gym, Michael Corinthos trashed Drew to Curtis Ashford because he was pursuing Willow Corinthos and attempting to bribe Michael for his silence. Michael asserted that Drew was betraying Curtis and would not be offering him the Aurora CEO position, but Curtis was unconvinced. Even if Michael didn't accept the CEO position, he predicted that Drew would replace Curtis with someone who had greater C-suite experience. That's why Michael wanted Curtis to join him in pushing Drew out of Aurora for good. Curtis would not be CEO otherwise, according to Michael, but Curtis did not want to become involved in his revenge plot. Michael pretended Curtis would come around someday and hoped it wasn't too late. At General Hospital, Stella Henry urged TJ Ashford to accompany Molly to Ava's trial. Although Molly told TJ that he didn't have to come, Stella believed Molly needed him. Christina Corinthos Davis arrived in the court sure that she could handle Rick due to her extensive preparation. Molly remained concerned about Rick's trickery and revealed that he had called her as a witness. Christina pressed Molly to tell the truth and achieve justice for their newborn girl, knowing Rick would most likely interrogate her about Christina's history of unpredictable behavior. Molly soon realized that she needed to hold her own against Rick on the stand. TJ startled Molly by showing up to support her, then Rick arrived with Ava. TJ reacted angrily to Rick after learning that Molly had been subpoenaed. Back with Christina, she threw Ava a filthy look while they waited for the trial to start. General Hospital spoilers suggest Ava's trial will include some breathtaking moments, so stay tuned. General Hospital spoilers state that the show has thankfully altered gears in terms of Christina Corinthos Davis. For a period, GH fans experienced some horrible writing that made Christina appear naive about who Sonny Corinthos was and what he was capable of. Fortunately, that has altered after the writing staff transfer, particularly in light of all the John Jagger-Cates drama. Christina now appears to be completely fine with Sonny's crimes and the lengths he will go to protect his family. If Christina had her way, Ava Jerome would be dead in Sonny's hands right now. It's good to know Christina isn't afraid of Sonny's sinister side anymore, as that could be key moving ahead. In the November 21st episode, Sonny persuaded Christina to come work for him, suggesting Corinthos Coffee as a potential fit. Christina agreed to think about it, so we need to analyze where this is going. Could there be a deeper motivation for Christina to consider working with Sonny? What if Christina's participation with Corinthos Coffee eventually leads to her joining the genuine family business? Sonny will need someone to follow in his mob footsteps and take over someday. Christina might be the finest candidate among Sonny's children. Whatever the case, we have to believe the show had a specific aim in mind with Sonny's job offer. Sonny may believe he can keep Christina safe and away from the mob violence, but hiring her could lead her down a hazardous path. In other words, Christina's decision to work at Corinthos Coffee may seal her mafia fate. Christina may move beyond Sonny's legitimate coffee company and become involved in his nefarious activities sooner or later. According to General Hospital teasers, Christina could benefit from a new storyline, so we'll keep you updated on any shocking Christina developments. The drama at General Hospital is at an all-time high, with bombshell disclosures, courtroom upheaval, and hazardous secrets keeping Port Charles residents on edge. Buckle up as we dive into this week's most exciting storylines. Cyrus' dark obsession targets Lulu. Cyrus Renault, Port Charles's master manipulator, is up to no good once again. This time, his unsettling fascination is centered on Lulu Spencer. Since his release from Pentonville, Cyrus has been circling the town like a vulture, hunting for new prey. And poor Lulu? She's caught in his sights. Lulu, who has been bravely piecing her life back together, is taken aback when Cyrus appears everywhere she goes. Cyrus' ominous presence sends chills down anyone's spine, from Kelly's cafe to random encounters on the pier. But it's more than just casual snooping. Cyrus has been making cryptic comments about her family and unresolved business that have Lulu concerned for her loved ones. Even Lulu's fiercely protective mother, Laura Collins, is frightened. Laura confronts Cyrus in one of the most heated exchanges we've witnessed in months, warning him to back off. But does Cyrus ever listen? Of course not. He smugly suggests that Lulu may owe him more than she thinks. Is he keeping a secret about her past from her? Or, worse, does he have leverage over someone she cares about? As Cyrus' passion grows, viewers cannot help but worry how far he will go. Who will step forward to protect Lulu before it's too late? Ava Jerome is no stranger to controversy, but her newest court battle has brought her back into the spotlight. After being embroiled in yet another controversy, Ava is forced to battle for her freedom in a trial that is turning Port Charles upside down. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.